Jose Monkey, where am I at?
You asked me to figure out where this video was recorded, so I did. Hi, I'm Jose Monkey, and I find people who ask to be found. This video might be a little bit different than some of the recent videos that I've done, but I think it proves an important point. There are some clues in this video, and they help me to narrow down the location, but it's not one of those situations where I found a bunch of clues that help me narrow it down to a specific place very quickly. So what can we see? This video was recorded by a person who appears to be standing on the roof of a building. It doesn't look like a very tall building, maybe 2 or 3 stories. We see this billboard for McDonald's right away. Of course, it's a billboard for the McDonald's app, not even for a particular McDonald's location, so it doesn't really help us to figure out where this is. I made a note of this brick structure on the roof here. I suspected that this housed a staircase that is how you get access to the roof of this building. As the camera turns, we can see all kinds of tools and boxes and things on the roof here. I'm sure they were probably related to whatever this person was doing on the roof, but I didn't see anything here that really helped me. Next, we see this billboard, and while I couldn't read it, I was pretty sure that this was a billboard for a dentist or orthodontist. I say that based on the way this person is pointing at their teeth. I tried really hard to read the phone number on that billboard, but guys, I just could not make it out. That would have been really helpful. We get a third billboard here, and this one actually was helpful. That billboard is for a business that I am not going to name, and I'm not going to tell you what they sell. And that's because the robots that control what you can and cannot see on this app do not seem to like it if I talk about that stuff. So you're going to have to figure that out for yourself. Anyway, like I said, that billboard was helpful. I'll come back to that. Next, we see this building with some wavy lines here and some U-Haul trucks next to it. Also, it says propane on the building. As the camera continues to turn, we can see a street sign here, but it was much too blurry to read, otherwise it would have been game over right there. I did notice this do not enter sign, which tells us that's probably a one-way street. Okay, so that business that I'm not going to name operates in 12 different states. They are Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut, Illinois, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. But I could probably narrow it down, because I noticed that on that side street that we see, the cars did not appear to have front license plates. That ruled out half of the 12 states. I was left with Arizona, Arkansas, Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. Now looking at this video, I did not think this looked like Arizona, so I decided to rule that out right away. I also thought that this looked more like Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia than it did like Arkansas, so I decided I'd start with those states and go back to Arkansas if I needed to. But guys, that is where my trail of clues stopped. I had narrowed it down significantly, but that still left 4 states to look in, and I still wasn't sure what I was looking for. Fortunately, it didn't take me too long to figure out that that building with the wavy line on it was a U-Haul location. I had guessed that's what it was based on the trucks that we see there, but I had to find some photos of U-Haul locations that looked like that to convince myself that that was true. So I basically was looking for U-Haul locations in those 4 states I mentioned. But guys, that's a lot of U-Haul locations. I tried using the location finder on U-Haul's website. Unfortunately, they don't have any way to list all of their locations by state. All you could do is pick a spot and see the closest U-Hauls to that spot. Now that's great if you're a person who's looking for the nearest U-Haul locations to you, which in fairness, I'm sure is the use case that they were optimizing for. But it's not great if you're trying to do what I'm trying to do. I messed around with that for a while, but eventually I decided to just do some queries against the OpenStreetMap database instead. I wrote some queries against the OpenStreetMap database to look for all of the U-Haul locations in Michigan, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and West Virginia. And I just started going through them, trying to figure out if it looked like the right one or not. Fortunately, I was able to rule out many of them very quickly because they didn't look right at all. But honestly, it was pretty tedious, and it took a long time. But eventually I spotted one that looked like it could be right, and when I zoomed out a bit, I noticed there was a building nearby that had a roof that looked like it could be the roof from the video. So I went to check it out. And when I dropped down to the Google Street View, the very first thing I saw was that billboard from the dentist. Guys, that was it. You were on the roof of the Verizon warehouse in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. I verified that I could see the billboards from the video, and fortunately they looked pretty much the same as they did in the recording. I could also see the McDonald's billboard, but that actually did not look the same. I could see that street with the do not enter sign, and I could see that building which you were on top of when you recorded your video. You were standing over here. Now guys, I know it is super satisfying when I take a bunch of obscure clues and connect the dots to figure out a location very quickly. But it is important to recognize that sometimes all it takes is a sufficiently motivated individual who does not mind spending the time to do a brute force search through every single location on a very long list. I estimate that this took me about 2 to 3 hours of active searching. I can't tell you exactly how long it took because I didn't do it all in one sitting. I searched for a while and then I had to get up and do some stuff with my family, and then I came back to it. But still, it was totally doable within an afternoon. So just keep that in mind and be careful what you post. Okay, it's time to check which previous location is closest to this one. And in this case, it was Season 1, Episode 96 in Ardmore, Pennsylvania. And it's really close to this place, actually. It's only about 2.5 miles or 4 kilometers away from this place. Guys, please like and share. And if anybody else wants me to find them, record a video where you say, "Find me, Jose Monkey," or something like that, on camera, or hold up a sign that says something similar. And don't forget to tag me in a comment on that video.